happened to me again yesterday. I was so frustrated. I started off with high hopes of getting a lot done, and by the end of the day, I looked at what I'd done and I felt I hadn't done anything. Has this ever happened to you? I'm sure it probably has. You know, as a salesperson, there is so much to do. I can't believe after an appointment how much I have to do. Making notes, putting them in the CRM, sending a thank you note to the client, perhaps even working on a proposal. And then I have 3 or 4 appointments today, phone calls to make, follow-up calls that I have to make. How do I get anything done at all? How can I feel I'm moving things forward? Well, let me tell you a story that happened about 100 years ago in 1918. Charles Schwab was the head of U.S. Steel and probably one of the busiest men in America. And he wasn't getting enough done. He was frustrated. So a friend of his, John D. Rockefeller, another famous industrialist, said, "You need to talk to Ivy Lee. He'll tell you what to do." So out of respect, Charles Schwab got together with Ivy Lee, and Ivy Lee started off his conversation by saying, "Mr. Schwab, tell me about your vision for the company." After about 10 minutes of this, he said, "All right, here's what you need to do. I want you to write down what's the one most important thing you can do tomorrow to move your company toward that vision." Mr. Schwab wrote that down. He said, "Now, what's the number 2 thing you need to do, most important to get that done?" And he wrote that down. They worked that through 6 different items, and Ivy Lee said, "Now you take that home tonight, and you look at that and get those well in your mind, and then tomorrow you start working on number 1, and you work on it till you get it done. If you get that done, you work on number 2 and then number 3. If you don't get it done, or there's something that stops you, then you move it to the next day and you work on it when you have that next opportunity. You move those up and you work on only those most important tasks that you've laid out before you." He said, "You do that for 4 weeks, do it for a month, and then you send me a check for what you think it's worth." 5 weeks later, Charles Schwab sent Ivy Lee a check for $25,000. In today's dollars, $400,000 to $500,000. That's how valuable that idea was to Charles Schwab. So that takes us to 2-minute selling tip number 8, how to get more done. Use a prioritized task list. And until the next time, go out and get better, one skill at a time.